Love this topic, honey. This has to do with Black degeneracy. This has to do with Mossad. This got to do with Joseline Hernandez. I picked this just for you, Andre, okay? So I'm going to have you kick off this first one. Have you heard about the drama with Joseline Hernandez, a.k.a. the chick from Love and Hip Hop, a.k.a. CVJ's baby mama, a.k.a. the founder of this stripper show called The Cabaret? Have you heard of her? Have you heard what's going on with her and Lemmy?
I haven't heard that name, Joseline Hernandez, in a minute. Unfortunately, my mother, she loved watching Real Housewives and all this other fucking goofy shit when it was popping back at Wife Swap. This was the cancer of the 2000s and also the early 2010s and shit. So I had the misfortune of listening to this shit. And I was so relieved when she got tired of watching this shit, because me and my grandfather would look at her like, this shit's goofy. Why are you watching these niggas with money? Act like niggas with no money.
She could be a new fan for me.
Yeah, y'all remember that Chappelle show with Wife Swap?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I just remember. I just jumped in.
That's funny.
Andre, this has all your favorite topics all rolled into one. Black degeneracy, Mossad, all of it tonight. We're gonna break it down. This is just for you.
That's great. Can't wait.
I'm gonna put you on to some game and you're gonna get 1 million views when you talk about it. All right, here we go. This is Joseline talking about Lemmy, and I'll tell you backstory as we go.
You harassed.
You're controlled. He kept everyone away from me in order to control me so that I couldn't hear anything from you. I can't hear anything from any executives. I can't hear anything from anyone.
On the first night,
Absolutely. I went to go have a business meeting.
So pretty much, Andre, Lemmy founded Zeus Network. Like, have you ever heard Bad Girls Club?
Of course.
Okay, so they have this show called Baddies. And it's like they put a bunch of crazy girls. They live in a house. I'm going to play you clips while you're talking and responding. And he founded this network. And allegedly, we'll get to the allegations, he has a connection to Israel. And I'll explain why later. Yep. But nevertheless, I'm going to, as you're responding, I'll show everybody the clips. This is what they're pushing out to the youth. And the allegation is that, hold on. The allegation is that Joseline is saying that someone called her from Israel. I'll play that next. Are you surprised to hear that this degeneracy has an Israel connection? And do you think it's a coincidence, or do you think that he's paid to put this out here?
No, because Jews have always been pushing out poison within the community. I mean, I have to always state this. It is still Black people's fault for accepting it and not policing it and going in a different direction and having their own culture. But this goes back to the civil rights movement. I mean, there was a significant amount of Jewish influence over much of the institutions. A lot of the HBCUs, today were founded by Jews, funded by Jews. They only exist because of Jews. The only reason for why the civil rights movement was successful is because of Jews. And then we get into the 1970s and 80s with the explosion of media throughout the entire country, especially with rap music, especially with a lot of the, Black exploitation films and shit. That had a lot of Jewish connections. So when you see this shit today, I mean, it's, Jews have kind of taken a back seat because they're like, well, these niggas do it so much, we really don't have to say anything. Me and Ezekiel can just collect the check and niggas will do it more than we have to. So that's what they do. So when I see shit like Baddies, it really, Black woman, I mean, you're the ones losing from this. This is your image. Look at this. What the fuck is this? A bunch of hood rats fighting over.
It looks like WWE on BET.
This is WWE for niggas. This is BET, just more Jewish. That's all it is. BET, more Jewish. That's all it is. And, what's his name? He has Jewish connections. It's disgusting.
I'm going to be, hold on, full stop. I'm going to be 100% honest. I used to be obsessed with Bad Girls Club in the 2000s. Loved original OG Bad Girls Club because it was hilarious. It was like real world because they had white girls there. They had Spanish girls there. They had Black girls. It was like a whole slew of people that I just loved. Everybody was so crazy. I remember watching it in the 2000s thinking it was lit. Now they just look crazy. At least back then it was more like MTV's Real World met a bunch of crazy bitches who got drunk. I don't know what it is now. It looks like WWE.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play.
You look like a Bad Girls Club. I could already tell you was a Bad Girls Club fan. I swear, I could tell just from your outfit right there. I could tell you watch Bad Girls Club. Like I could already.
When they fight, they zoom in on their asses. It's pretty funny.
It is funny, but here she goes.
Very nice asses.
This is the connection because I want to tie it all in. I don't want to. I want to say allegedly. I'm going to show you guys the connection so you can watch.
That's Lemuel. What's his name? Lemuel Samuels, who jacked the Zeus Network out from under some folks who had created it. And then it got a bunch of money put into it because his daddy is a black bishop in Israel.
I don't. I like her to an extent. Not everything she says.
Do y'all understand? Everything is a lie.
I hate this bitch's face. I hate this bitch's nose. I hate the bitch's eyes.
I'm going to bed.
There are black Jewish people?
Look at that.
I'll step on that.
There are.
I'm going to bed.
There are. One of the
called blue face. They like the color blue.
Yeah.
She'll get credit for naming the Jew. That's the only credit I'll ever give this bitch.
They the biggest gang out. They got us again.
Yes, Eric, yes.
I think you'll find, sir, that there will.
Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over. It's over, Eric.
It's
the niggas saying we were there. It's always, I swear, it's niggas. Niggas think that they're the real Jews. Niggas just can't be niggas. They can't be from Africa. They got to be the real TP. We the real Indians. We're the real Jews. We're the real Martians. Nigga, just be black and move on. At the end of the day, I don't want to be a Jew. At the end of the day, because what's coming is not going to be nice. I'm going to be honest.
God. Kim, what do you think about that clip? You actually are a fan, so I'll start with you. You appreciate my clip of Amanda. What do you think about that connection? Do you think it's BS, or do you see the line of connection with this guy?
I can see the connection. I would want to look more into it myself before I jump to any conclusions. But I do like Amanda Seales, and she does look into things, and she says a lot of things that I agree with. Ideologically, her and I are almost up to par, like maybe 80%. Honestly, she's great.
Really, Kim?
She's also hilarious. Yeah, I'm a lefty. I'm a stalwart lefty. But I'm not
Amanda Seales.
Yeah.
Kim, fuck. I know you're lefty, but I didn't think he was with Amanda Seales. I think he would say like something like what's his name? The streamer. What the fuck is his name? Hassan Piker. I like Hassan. How do you feel about Hassan?
There's a lot
he's
of
just too fucking rich to be a socialist.
Hassan Piker, I can't stand him.
Yeah,
he's not
says
a
some shit that's like not historically accurate, but I mean, whatever.
Exactly.
I mean,
and he also teaches people how to. I'm gonna be quiet.
He is very beautiful. I can watch him on mute. I agree with a lot.
That's why she likes the nigga. I knew she was gonna say this shit. You only like the nigga. You don't like the nigga. You don't even listen to what the nigga's saying. She watching the whole stream to see if this nigga gonna take his shirt off.
I can't watch him.
I want to see him debate somebody who knows what they're talking about, because he's always out there.
You watch him like black bitches watch Michael Jordan in Sinners. They only watch the movie to see him take his shirt off. That's it.
He
remember what the movie was about.
He's actually taken a while to come off. For a long time, he was a huge Democrat defender. Him and he's Cenk Uygur's nephew, and it took him a long time to get off the Democrat boat. So now he's starting to make a little bit more sense. He is actually, I think, I self-identified Marxist. I'm not, so I don't agree with him completely.
But he's not even actual Marxist, because Marx would hate him. He's not even an actual socialist, because every socialist, they would all hate him. He's a champagne. He's not even a fucking socialist. I can't even call him a champagne socialist. Yeah. I think it's disrespectful to even consider that.
He's a commie. He should go move to Cuba.
Well,
he said
he be a good commie. He would be he's the bourgeoisie. He's the exact thing that he criticized. He is the bourgeoisie. He is not a communist at all. That's the whole thing. When people say that, I'm like, he LARPs as a communist. He LARPs as a communist.
Not the LARPing.
He still criticizes Israel people, and he did get asked about. Well, I'm not gonna make this whole. I'm not like this whole big Hassan Piker fan. I'm not gonna say
Well,
whatever. Sorry, guys.
Yes,
But he,
well, let's get back. We're gonna drive the car back, and we're gonna drive the car back. And I'm gonna play this clip of Homegirl saying people call her for Israel on behalf of Lemmy, and we'll play Lemmy after.
No names yet. My shareholders are calling me about Joseline. So you got people in Israel calling you about me? You got the mobsters from Israel calling you about me while I'm in America with child? At my old age? You're trying to kill me. And this is why I say you're trying to kill me.
So Mia, tinfoil hat. Do you believe her? Mind you, she's pregnant, by the way, guys. I don't know if you guys saw the video. Go look up Joseline getting arrested. That went viral, so I'm sure Andre made reactions to it. Maybe I'll play that next. Or while we're talking, what do you think?
I'm going to be honest. Statistically speaking, she's going to die because she's Black in America, pregnant. She's not going to die from the Jews. The Jews don't even have to touch her. Okay, Black women in the United States die at an alarming rate while giving birth. So I mean,
well, I have to correct you. She's a Black Puerto Rican, to be clear. She's not FBA. She's not Caribbean. She's not African. She's Puerto Rican. But I just want to put that out there.
But either way, she's still proud in America. Even if we use the stats for Hispanic and Latino women, still, I mean, the odds are she's just being pregnant in the United States and being brown, you're going to die in childbirth. Versus the Jews, they don't even have to do anything. They're just running the odds, running the clock down. I think she's a little crazy.
Do you guys know that Israel was forced sterilizing Ethiopian Jews in Israel because they wanted to minimize the Black Jewish population in Israel?
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
They forced sterilized a lot of Black Ethiopian Jews in Israel. This was decades ago. It was really big. It was a big thing.
You know,
was she pregnant here?
We were probably doing that same shit at the same time, honestly, up until the 60s. So, but yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me.
That's a good side note, John.
And the people that did it too, obviously, are minorities and people with mental issues and stuff like that. So,
I mean, yeah, we want people with mental issues to be sterilized. Honestly, to be honest with you, I don't want people with mental issues to be existing.
No, they're fun, man.
To be honest.
They're fun.
No, they're not fun. Because what we get that is we get people who are going to be abused. I see this a lot in the military. A lot of the fucking the civilian workers, especially around the DFAC and shit. For some reason, they were all mentally, they had some kind of mental disability. They were working with some program, and they got treated like shit. I don't know. This is something I saw at Bragg. I can name a few defects that had the civilian workers, and they were just this dude's limping.
We should sterilize the people being mean to him.
No, we should sterilize the people who have these deficiencies because we want a better society. You don't get a better society by sterilizing the people.
That's too close to what Hitler did, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that sounds like
no. That's something we've been doing for. No, eugenics is good. Eugenics is something we practice even today.
All right.
Eugenics is not a bad thing. Tell me why eugenics is bad, John.
Because it's discriminatory, it violates the Constitution and basic principles of self-determination.
It doesn't violate the Constitution at all. It doesn't violate the Constitution. Where in the Constitution does it
absolutely does?
Where in the Constitution does it violate your
Man, it's 5 officers trying to carry this lady out. She's struggling.
Even without the Constitution, how is eugenics bad? Give a genuine, reasonable response.
It discriminates against certain
even without
subsets of people, including by race, including by certain even just chromosomal. Some people believe in the sterilization of people with Down syndrome.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. Why would I want someone who has Down syndrome in society for them to be abused, and also they're a net negative on society because we have to take care of them?
All right, so I'm just going to tell you,
why we want that.
Just to be clear, I'm completely against this. This is what happened in World War II. This is how you end up genociding people because you're saying they're subhuman, right? This is what people will say.
Who said that they're subhuman?
African Americans. They'll say, no, hold up. They'll classify people that they don't like as being abnormal, right? It won't just be Down syndrome. It may start like that, but it'll turn out into other stuff like that. So I'm just
there's no historical precedent for that. Exactly. There's no historical precedent for that.
So
you could even say, like, using with the Germans in World War II, they didn't want certain people in society to be of a lower class and lower status. So guess what? They either deported them, or unfortunately, because of the war, people died, and they were deemed like, okay, we can't take care of these people; they just have to go. So even with that, that's not really historically accurate from what you're saying.
It is exactly historically accurate. And you know what? They used to say that about African Americans in the Deep South. They used to say, well, you know, there's some humans, so we're going to make them slaves. We're going to kill them. We're going to do this. We're going to biological
slavery ended. We fought the entire war,
them and selling them like their chattel, right? So, you know, I mean, it's
going to mainly that was done by Jews. Honestly, Jews did that as well. So here's the thing: when we look at slavery in the South or discrimination in the South, you can try to make this like, well, you're black, so you shouldn't be supportive of this. Well, look at the result that we have today. When you have a people who are unhealthy, when you have a people who are dysgenic, what does that create? A very dysfunctional society, a very disorderly society. You don't want that, especially going into the future, modernized. You don't want that at all, because that's what you end up looking like. You end up turning out to be Africa. You end up turning out to be Haiti. You end up looking like some of even the poorest areas of Eastern Europe.
Well, Haiti looks the way it does because of French colonialization and exploitation. That's why it is the way it is. That's
you can make that argument. That's a fair argument to make. But even with that, culturally,
I mean, eugenics. I'm just going to tell you, history does not agree with that. History does not agree with that. It
So
completely.
let's take another example. Look at Liberia. You could sit back and say colonization. Well, guess what? A lot of these blacks that went and they got sent over from the United States, they went over to Liberia. What happened there, John? What happened with those people? Was that because of colonization? Was that because of exploitation, or was it
eugenics?
Themselves?
So eugenics and telling people when they can and can't have children, the most basic fundamental decision a person makes in life, and self-determination, taking that away is going to solve social problems. How are you going to eugenicize,
1,000%,
murder your way out of
1,000%?
It don't work like that.
Who said we're murdering people? We're not murdering people. This is why I take a very
sterilizing people.
Yes, we don't want people who are going to be a net negative on society to exist in society, because that's what we don't gain anything from that. We want a more healthy society.
Power becomes who decides who gets to live or not.
Well,
guess what? You know, guess who?
John has a point though. Like, who decides? Like let's just logically speaking. No, who's we? Who's we though? Who's we, bro?
We, those who have power to do so. Those who have power.
The people in power, right? You or I are not in power.
Hold on. And that's the problem, because you're not going out to seek power. You're not finding ways to gain power. That's something. Everything in the world, everything in life is about power. Power is the most thing. The one important thing, especially as men, we all look for more power individually in our own lives. Then we expand it out to our family unit and our own family structure. We expand it out to the community, therefore the nation, and so on. It's very hierarchical. It's not just like, well, you know, it's just the people in power. Okay, seek power, take power, and power.
Right.
But long term comes from force. You have to take power.
Right. But let's be realistic though. Let's be realistic and live in the reality. The reality is the 13 families run the entire planet, right? And nobody in this, none of us are part of these 13 families. These 13 families are people that would see you and I dead in a heartbeat, and all of us dead in a heartbeat for even having this discourse. So there's no taking power, because there's no power to take, because everything has already been decided. We are up and everything has already been decided, bro.
I agree. Honestly, I hate that I'm disagreeing with you, because I hear what you're saying. Here's what you need to do. I hear what you're saying, but you have to push for power at the end of the day.
Let's allow Jeff to speak. Jeff hasn't spoken.
Oh, I'm just jumping in like a dick sometimes, to be honest with you. But no, like, all I'm saying is like the everything's already determined. Like me, I usually agree with your takes and stuff, but everything's already determined just means everything's meaningless. So why do anything? Why care about anything? You know, why even debate anything at all? So, you know, it's like we could debate capitalism versus socialism all day and realize, oh, the people who support socialism don't view it as an idealistic thing to capitalists. Capitalists are like, hey, that's just idealistic. Doctrine, you know, it sounds great, but actually put it in principle or put it in practice, put principle into practice with people actually imposing it, it falls apart. Okay, so socialists view capitalism the same way. Us capitalists, it's like, oh, okay, put those in power, it falls apart. Well, it's the same thing with eugenics too. Like, there's someone going to have to be running something. It's not just an idealized form out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that
man.
very much
Just
explains
to
my
be clear,
point. Yeah.
it is illegal in the United States. Skinner versus Oklahoma, the equal protection.
Legality doesn't matter.
So it is
doesn't matter at the end of the day.
It
doesn't matter. There's a lot of things that have been done unconstitutional, and guess what? They're still going on. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. The piece of paper that we worship does not matter at the end of the day, John. I'm sorry to tell you that. The Constitution is a piece of paper. I grew up in a very staunch constitutional household. I got a Constitution right here. I've got the Declaration of Independence right. No, I got the Constitution right here, Declaration of Independence over there. I grew up in that household. But guess what? The Constitution is a fucking piece of paper. I can rip it up, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Power, order, structure, that advances society. That's driven us to where we are today. And the piece of paper is not going to take us any further. It's honestly just going to limit us. What we should.
So what you're fundamentally saying is the rule of law doesn't matter, and having a framework and restrictions, that we're a country of laws and not men, that doesn't matter. I've seen where that.
I didn't say that.
Okay, that is what you said.
Say that.
And that's basically what you said. We don't need a constitution. We can ignore the rule of law, and it's just anarchy, right? It's just a piece of paper. Throw it up,
John. That's not what I said. Like I said, you're talking to a right wing. You're not talking to an anarchist.
Got the most power, right?
At the end of the day, that's just nature.
Whoever has the most. At the end of the day,
that's just nature. John, from what I see, you're a veteran. I mean, you served for the Ukraine army, so that's something I really care for. But anyway, you serve, right?
Yep.
You serve. Okay. So at the end of the day, it's power, control. All right. If it's you and me, if you got to kill me to survive, you're going to do it. That's still power force. You're going to do everything in your power to take from me to make it. Yes, you are. If it comes down to you and I, let's expand this, right? Let's expand it. Yes, you are, most definitely. If it comes down to I'm hungry, you're hungry, and we're both sitting in the field, you're going to do everything in your power to either negotiate first for your life or fight for your life. You're going to choose two options, either to negotiate or fight. And in most cases, most people will fight. They're going to fight. When they know they have the power to do so, they're going to fight. And then after that, when they know they can't win, they want to negotiate.
I don't understand where you're going.
And this is the basis of all reality. This is the basis of nature, how things work, and it expands to our structure as well.
This is like dreamland.
I just explained it to you.
This
is not dreamland. This expands the system of power as well.
Like a fortune cookie, my friend.
This is reality.
No, what was the original topic?
Okay.
I forgot.
It's put over John's head because he can't grasp power and hierarchy.
I can definitely grasp it, but what does it relate to? What are you talking about? Because we live in a world where we have rule of law. Okay.
What are we talking about originally, John? What were we talking about originally?
Originally, we were talking about Joseline Hernandez.
Oh my goodness! You can't keep. Come on now, you can't keep on track of what we're talking about
in our country.
Yeah. Hey, that's your fault, man. You need to. You can structure it better, baby.
And I want to get on.
I structured it very great. I stayed on point the entire time. John just can't keep up with it because he doesn't understand anything about order power.
Okay, Andre.
The Nazis are going to come back. Dude, fuck that. We need power and order.
Eugenics is how you make the world better. Okay, that's disproven by history.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. No, it's not disproven because we practice eugenics to this day. We practice eugenics to this day. There are many forms of eugenics that we practice today in American society and even across the world. Tell me how that's bad.
Eugenics has a specific definition.
Okay, define good eugenics and bad eugenics because it's a clear distinction between the two, which easily can be documented.
Sterilization, anti-miscegenation laws, and like the stuff that you had with the Nazis and the racial hygiene stuff, like that. Okay, deciding who can have
racial hygiene,
who cannot.
I practice racial hygiene every day with my content. I'm promoting racial hygiene. I don't want niggas in my community. I want strong black people, good black image.
All right.
I think you're a white man. You're the same thing for your own people. That's eugenics right there. That's social eugenics.
I don't know what we're even talking about now. Like, I don't know.
You can't keep up.
Okay, we're moving on. All right, Andre, we're moving on.
Thank you, John.
We're moving on.
You can't